Welcome back everybody to the Analyst Desk, and this game number 1 was between SeolHaeOne Prince and KT Rolster. Today's Analyst Desk will be joined by Subin Yoon and Lira and Pon, and this is Season with the translation. Kaney was the starting mid laner for SeolHaeOne Prince, and they were playing the mind games during the draft. They locked in sets. So Pon expected KT Rolster to go for a very confident Caitlyn or other picks for AD carry, but actually aiming was letting other players to pick the first pick. And SeolHaeOne Prince, they capped the possibility of flex pick with Set and Echo to hide the pick for the mid laner. KT Rolster were trying to play around the bottom lane, and SeolHaeOne Prince, they were playing around the jungler. They were trying to feed Echo, letting him play around the mid lane. However, KT Rolster was able to shut it down because they were able to pick up so many kills in the early game. Smap, as soon as the game started, he was participating in every skirmishes because the side laners were having a strong priority. Nidalee was able to pick up both of the scalded crabs. Flawless also took Conqueror, so he was looking for some 1v1 fight up against Nidalee as well. So watch the mid lane. Yuka was so low with HP and also mana. However, Set did not really have the speed boost coming out from Ghost because he took Hill. So he was not fast enough to chase Bono in the jungle. But Smap was faster than Iksu to join this fight. So this fight actually converted into 3v3 between all the topside players. And Iksu was not that late joining this party. However, Wukong was so fast, and also watch the minion wave on the top lane. This was a so bad situation for Iksu, so it was not an easy decision for Iksu to join that fight. And after that, Wukong TP'd to the bottom lane, and then Silas went over to the top side to minimize the losing trade in terms of the minion wave. So KT managed to get a very winning trade in terms of fights and also XP, gold, and minions in every department possible. However, the game was really close in the mid game. However, Nar made a significant mistake over here. SeolHaeOne Prince, the bottom duos, were looking for a fight in the mid lane. However, the 5 players were not on the same page. Ash had to clear the wave coming into the mid lane, but Iksu was actually being too extended over here on the bottom lane. Not many players on the side of SeolHaeOne Prince were able to actually cover him for this fight, so he could have been a little bit more going safer. So SeolHaeOne Prince did not have the tempo over there, so they had to be a little bit more smart with their decisions. KT Rolster managed to pick up a win in game number 1, and let's take a look at the player of the game. A lot of people on the side of KT Rolster were popping off, but we can definitely say Smap on Wukong was doing a fantastic job. He's been performing great on this champion. And also, after the 4 kills, he managed to convert that into a huge game lead and snowballed really well. He also even let Silas to take the minion wave on the top lane, so all the players on the side of KT Rolster were guaranteed a certain amount of game lead in the beginning of the game. And after the Trinity Force, he was able to hit the power spike, and no one could stop Wukong spinning around in this team fight. Wukong simply just outscaled the opponent with his item lead. Wukong definitely carried this game and picked up 10 votes out out of 12, and interesting to see that Yuka was able to pick up 2 votes as well. So Yuka was also really smart, forcing the Ashe ultimate onto him, so letting being the safeguard for his teammates as well. Now it's time to move on to game number 2, SP versus KT Rolster.
Thank you so much, Jisun, for the Analyst Desk translation. And I want to say that those 2 votes that Yukao got were great. I thought he had a really, really good game. So I think it's completely okay to share out the votes a little bit. I think a 9-0-8 Wukong performance for Smith probably stands out. And on the winning team, they're going to have a bit of a sub here in the jungle. Malrung going to make his way back. Malrung versus Flawless, our 2 biggest sinners of the LCK, up against one another, looking for some battles in the early game. I like it a lot. I mean, Pono's pretty close as well, let's be real.
True.
It's the 4 of them plus, the 3 of them plus on Fleek that I think are our most notorious for taking fights and flipping coins.
Yeah, they love to get aggressive and not just farm out their jungle, certainly, and pick picks that can fall behind if they don't get those successful ganks. So definitely a little bit more risky. As it is definitely interesting to see that Malrung comes in after the win. I think what you were saying before, there's a pretty low chance that KT make it into playoffs. They're going to be trying their hardest still.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like they want to round out the roster, get everybody prepared for the gauntlet where they're going to try to make that miracle run.
A Lilia ban. So assuming on the side of SeolHaeOne Prince that the secret sauce that was brewing over on the KT side was in fact a Lilia pick here for Malrung. Not going to happen though. Denied instantly. Boom goes the dynamite.
And down goes the bear on top of that one, so it's good to see double red side Volibear bans. The Bear's won too many games in a row now.
He's just too good.
It's just, there's really no excuse anymore. Unless you have a very specific plan. And even then, I mean, it's still difficult to just give over pretty overpowered champions at the moment. As Karma's going to be banned by KT, which is pretty interesting. It gives a chance for SP to take away Set if they're really worried about it, as one of the last remaining very common bans that we see in the first ban phase.
SeolHaeOne Prince wondering whether they need to ban Twisted Fate, but it is going to be Lucian that retains some priority here in the ban list. Now, Twisted Fate could be picked up, or KT could go for something like a Sylas instead, or lock down their bottom lane. There are a lot of different options here, as Set was first picked by SeolHaeOne Prince in the first match, and he is once again going to be prioritized here by KT. Certainly a lot of places he can go, so an understandable first pick to keep your options open on KT's side. SeolHaeOne Prince could go towards Ezreal and the Bard if they want to, but Nidalee also available and one of Flawless's most famous picks.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering where the TF priority will be in this game. I think I'll be a little bit surprised if SP don't pick it here, and they just give Yukao a chance to hop onto that one. TF and Set together would already be a very strong start for your draft, as it looks like they're going to prioritize picking up Ashe.
Whoa. I would have thought Bard would have made the most sense at that point in time, because now KT can go Caitlyn Bard again if they want to.
Yeah, Ashe,
maybe thinking that Tucson didn't exactly have the best game, so not too worried about it.
Perhaps. It's just interesting that the Ashe gets kind of rushed out here as well, when there's still so many picks that you can go for. If they go for the Ashe, you can pick up your own Caitlyn, as there's the Bard.
I mean, Brad was definitely coming out, right? And now it's whether they go towards Ezreal Bard, which we know is very strong, or whether they go towards the Caitlyn Bard that we saw win in the last game. And it looks like my initial thought might be correct, but Tucson being very vocal.
Are they just going to let TF swing by? Looks like it.
That might have been aiming, sort of like stepping up there and alphaing the situation. You saw him pointing to himself. He's like, I want to play Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like I know in the opening video I'm Ezreal, but today I want to play Caitlyn. And he's going to play it 2 games in a row. Trying to repair that win rate.
we're going to pick bottom lane here. It looks like. Again, we did have Genji flexing yesterday. Ooh, okay, never mind.
All right.
No flexibility here. We are just bringing fire to the mid lane as Katie will pick up his signature pick.
Yeah. Kiana was banned out of respect towards Kaney. We'll see whether he does show us that supreme display of talent here this game. SeolHaeOne Prince now entering the second ban phase. Where are they going to be focusing? I think Wukong might get a bit of a respect ban here. But they're going to focus the mid lane first as Zoe is taken away.
Yeah, I mean, we have definitely a lot of strong stuff still available that should probably get banned out. It'll be interesting if they focus on mid or if they want to look top at all, especially for KT. As, let's see what they want to take away. As Pantheon, it got hovered, so may have gotten into the heads of KT.
Yep. Also, pretty strong bottom lane, especially once you hit level 6. So, something that KT just don't want to deal with. They're not going to have to. Banning it into the second phase, much like they did in the first game. Because now having a look for this final ban, Camille, still given more respect than that of the Wukong. Was banned game number 1 also. And we all know what Smeb can do on Camille, because Smeb's been playing the game for a really long time. So we can just go back and have a look at his performances. And Renekton to be taken off the board here by KT.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh.
it's definitely very good alongside of the Nidalee, and it also fits into their already really aggressive composition with the Kiana. It would mean a lot of AD in their comp, but they still just want to get rid of that and allow Smeb to have a safer top lane. As what is Trigger going to take here? We see
Rumble. I like the flex. This is really cool because it could be Rumble support. We've seen Rumble played alongside Ashe quite a lot. So still options being held open. Sylas available. And picking Rumble into a Sylas is sad times. Oh my god, he's got 3 amazing ultimates, actually.
Sanity.
This is nutty. All right, Sylas going to be locked in.
For Sylas. And we saw that UCal already had an awesome game on the Sylas, so why not? I mean, just throw it out there once again. Now, it could still be flexed, but I have a sneaking suspicion that UCal will be hopping onto that one as Jace is going to be selected.
Absolute no-brainer. Ban the Renekton, pick the Jace. Don't allow what happened to Afrika happen to them, which was the R5 Renekton.
Yes,
and it
the
does
most dangerous.
Well, it absolutely works if you're planning on winning a game by 25 minutes, right? And that's exactly what Tier 1 managed to do, largely due to Kuz being phenomenal when he was pathing around the jungle, got that early gank, and the Renekton was unstoppable.
That's definitely the main thing that sticks out in my mind, that remains, is Kuz, his unbelievable performance that day in both games.
He was super good. It
really,
was
really cool.
Really reminiscent of Canyon, where he just took that day by the horns, you know, and hard carried multiple games in a row. It was exactly as we expected with the Rumble support coming in. That's going to augment the magic damage that's going to be coming out of Flawless, and Ixu's going to be Gnar-ulting towards the top side with an equalizer to be put down with it. The ultimate wombo combo is nutty out of SeolHaeOne Prince right now, and they can layer it all together. Sylas, however, once he hits level 16, can use all 4 of those incredible ultimates in pretty quick succession, only needing a few seconds in between at max level. Of course, it's not like it used to be. That cooldown is certainly extended.
Yeah.
But still, it's not huge at level 16. As this is going to be a KT roster. Certainly a lot of lane control towards that top side with the Jace. We'll see what Malrong's going to be doing, whether he's going to be sitting it to win it, or whether he's going to be farming things out, getting towards level 6, and then going for those big ganks, is aiming at Tucson on the Caitlyn and Bard once again. And I'm just hoping that Tucson has a bit of a better performance here today in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see over on the side of SeolHaeOne Prince, they are having a fun comp. They're trying different stuff, right? They're just saying, well, let's see what happens with this. Maybe we can make this work out. And it's stuff that has had success in the past. I mean, limited success, but it's worked out a couple times. And we'll we'll see what they can do here as we're hopping into game 2.
Excited for it. KT on our blue side this time around. Blue side generally the more winninger side. As we'll see how Kaney's going to go on the hula hoop champion herself, Kiana.
I love that gingerbread, by the way.
Yeah.
Little gingerbread kid. Looks very sad.
Halo Blade's coming out here on Ixu, just to see whether he can utilize that to get a bit more control. And let's see where Flawless is going to go, because with Jace, he does certainly get very aggressive very early. Not going to be the same as Jace versus Renekton, which is definitely very Jace favored in the early stages based on lane advantage and being able to manipulate minion waves just a little bit better if you can push the Renekton out, which most of our Jace players certainly can do. As the Na, you do not suffer from the range disadvantage quite as much. However, early game Jace is still just Jace, right? It's just going to have a good time.
We got a couple of Scorches here, and they're on champions where it does kind of make sense. The support Rumble is going to look to poke out a nice amount, whereas the Jace always looking to exert as much pressure as possible in lane. Generally don't like to see it on, you know, control mages that can essentially farm out and use that AP better later on in the game. So there's always that trade-off.
Oh, Mia just going for it. Find some harpoons there as aiming's already taken down to 200, but look at all of this. What was that? Tucson just creating a banquet.
Welcome
to this
Brad's world.
Damn. Brad the chat, I'm going to his frat parties, man. Absolutely.
He's got all the goodies.
Yeah.
I mean, look at aiming. He's full health now. Like, nice engaged. Now you don't have Ignite.
Nor half of his health bar as well. But he is able to land a lot of this harass. That's what Rumble is very good at. Even level 1. So Trigger happily stacking up this wave and will shove it towards KT. So already the Rumble showing us exactly what it was picked for. And it only gets worse. You hit level 6 and you get Equalizer down. Like, the base damage on Equalizer as you like skill it up at level 6 is huge. And especially if you can stun them on top of it. So this is working super well. And they're not out of the woods yet. You know, it's not like, oh, it works really well level 1 and 2. No. It's going to keep getting bad. As Kaney's bouncing around this. Mid lane, both of them, in fact. This is going to be a tough one to follow.
Certainly should be a lot of action between those two melee champions. And you can see Brad is working overtime, trying to produce as many UFO candies as possible in the back there, because Rumble Ashe is just so oppressive in the lane. We have seen that slowly but surely, just more. Oh, nice little pop-up there, okay.
That Peacemaker not exactly making too much peace here, as aiming's going to eat even more UFOs.
It's still so difficult. Even if you get like a good trade as Caitlyn Brad, you're just never really going to be able to match up to what Ashe Rumble can offer in terms of poke, as that's Bard.
Yep, the UFO flying away.
See you later, Bard.
Skin is just the best.
Yeah.
It's super obnoxious, you know. I feel like it's narcissistic. It's like this game is now all about me.
Yeah. Take a look at my UFO.
You can't even see anything on your screen anymore.
It just covers the battlefield.
Perfect. Italy just going to hop on away again. Flawless. Hard farming the jungle. You can see Marong also doing a decent job as aiming underneath his turret. We'll have a slight experience advantage and gets all of that CS as well. Looked a little bit low. But as you can see, turret just going to give up a little bit.
Yeah, and aiming's doing a great job here in the game, in the lane rather, just being able to farm up. Tucson's job is essentially heal the Caitlyn.
He's a caterer. He's a caterer. Exactly,
and Caitlyn is there to say, I need to get away from all this harass, try to farm up as much as possible. And so far, I mean, he's even in farm, so that's definitely a win here for the Caitlyn, who, I mean, for herself individually, she's known for her strong laning phase as well, just because of her extremely long range and her ability to combo with CC from her support. But dealing with this poke, definitely not the easiest thing in the world.
Yep. A lot of Caitlyn's power is actually lane control and manipulating minion waves, and you can see the SeolHaeOne Prince, at least early on, were able to counteract that really nicely as Mia going to get baited by Tucson here just a little bit. Marong running forward to flash out immediately as Mia wants none of it as Marong's going to straight up miss the face breaker. Teleport to come forward. SeolHaeOne Prince looking to try and capitalize on this one, but Flawless is going to miss the spear. Doesn't matter. First Blood's going to go over to trigger as Yukal diving on in. Finds the kill, but doesn't find the abduct, and now he's going to get taken down. Kaney getting into the backline, he goes invisible, and SeolHaeOne Prince are smashing this team fight that once again erupts around 5 minutes time, and we have 4 kills.
This is definitely what we knew what was going to happen. These two teams butt head once again here in the early game. KT, I mean, they had the magical journey up. They could have hopped into that and said, you know what? Okay, you win this one. We'll come back next time and fight you on better ground. Well, they did not do that. They got the teleports in there. They just went full all in on the team fight, and they get punished for it as eventually Kaney did make his way down. As it all starts off here with the bait, it's looking good. Aiming's going to misplace his trap a little bit here. I think he could have placed that a little bit earlier. Malrong, unfortunately, is going to go for the big whiff. As, see, just hop in the magical journey. Leave Malrong. He's dead. It's fine. But instead of doing that, they double TP down. They get the 1 kill. But then Yukal dies. Kaney gets in, he kills Tucson as they're looking at trade back.
Yep, that's another face breaker that's going to go wide, but this time it does not matter whatsoever. Yukal moves out of the way of that turret, and they'll grab some plates. Kaney moving on in. He's level 6, so he can show them all of that talent that he has. That's a good block to deny some minions from Smeb. But Kaney blocking it with his face, probably doesn't want to. Mia now is in an alcove. Not exactly the one that he wants, as he doesn't want that cupcake either. Oh no, he's trapped! Oh, finds the gap, but it doesn't matter. The Peacemaker comes out. That was an exciting game of Prince of Persia, but unfortunately he still fell in the spike trap, man.
We were so hyped when he went through the 2 traps. It was like, we both screamed as he went right through, and then he just got shot in the face by Caitlyn. Oh, man. The only thing that matters is he won the minigame.
No, exactly.
Well done.
Exactly.
Well done, Mia.
I mean, sometimes, you know, you win the minigame in Mario Party, but then you lose all of your stars. You still won the minigame.
Yeah, true.
Right?
You outplayed your opponent in that one tiny little spot there, as that's going to be an Infernal Drake on top of it all. So even though KT did a little bit of whoopsie in the early trade, they're easily able to come back here as aiming.
Didn't you see? Okay, he's going to cleanse immediately. Gets out of the arrow as Mia's going to once again lose the majority of his health bar. The cupcakes, they look delicious, but they're not. Oh, there's no peace today. Despite the irony, as aiming only uses his cleanse and gets yet another kill.
It's okay, he dodged the cupcake. He got away again.
Oh no. Marong taking a bit of damage here from Flawless, but he guesses the wrong direction. As Flawless still just going to pressure Yukal out of the way here, but Yukal's surprisingly tanky, especially to the auto attacks that are coming out. That Seeker's Arm Guard doing some work. As he's not the only one with talent.
And I think we're going to get a replay here of the bottom lane trade. Maybe not, because Flawless and Kaney getting really aggressive. This is something you can do with Kiana. Once she gets a couple of lethality items, try to just hard-on engage when you do have the Nidalee, who can be aggressive in the jungle at the same time. Try to go for those 2v2 trades. But, yeah, they just let the blue buff go, which is probably the right idea.
Yep, and there's the flash over from Malrong. Ixu, unfortunately, is just dead. Haymaker, that's going to do it. They wanted to give it over to Smeb. Malrong ends up grabbing that kill as Shelly butts her face into the side of the pit. And Flawless going to go over and take yet another buff. So Flawless definitely out jungling at the moment, but not out ganking. As Malrong, he countered the fact that he's missed all of his face breakers by not using face breaker.
True.
That was a pretty smooth way.
Yeah,
he didn't need to.
Yeah, just throw out the first one and then never do it again.
Yep.
That's one way to play it.
We've got a lot of wall interaction this game, by the way. You know, you got Supreme Display of Talent, you've got the Gnar ultimate, you've got the Cosmic Binding. There's just a lot of walls that we need to worry about. I feel like Rumble likes that a lot, but he's not level 6 yet, so he can actually utilize it.
We never got a replay of the bottom lane, but Mia essentially is just overestimating how much power he has after the Caitlyn picks up the VF sword. You can't just run straight into her alone. and he's just pretty squishy early on in general. As Smev is going to bait this one. Ixu's like, well, I've got Flawless nearby, so I should be okay. But then the fight erupts so quickly that Flawless is not able to get over here in time to help him out. Nice Hex Flash, something you see very often nowadays on the jungle set.
Yep. Got a flash now down on aiming. Thank you very much to our observers. He is still not level 6. He really wants that level 6. He's 3 levels behind aiming right now. As Marung moves out of the way of the spear, but I believe loses his big chicken. Oh no, he's just addicted to these cupcakes that he's not eating half the time, but that one he certainly wanted. Spear is so squishy.
He wants them so bad, he just skirts around them most of the time.
Didn't have vision, so it's not like he opted into it, but
yeah,
almost.
Still level 5,
gonna be there.
Level 8 Caitlyn.
I feel like aiming is going to get level 9 before he gets level 6.
Well, Bucal is.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's 9.
Okay, so desperate for some levels is good old Mia. As Tempered Fate comes in, it's avoided, but Mia has to walk forward. Equalizer comes in, and he burns down the Bard. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade as there's the Flash Facebreaker into the Showstopper. And Trigger now, he's just going to try and do what he can to grab this one back. And the Ace in the Hole will secure the double kill over to aiming. So still worth for KT, but Mia gets his ultimate, and that's definitely worth.
Yeah, I mean, he picks up the kill, but at the same time, he resets his gold, and
Yeah, maybe that's bad enough as the Abduct is used. Supreme display of talent onto Flawless. Yucal trying to turn it around as he turns into a cat as well. That was definitely fun, but not going to achieve too much. As Ixu going to get smashed back. Oh, that's a good boulder. As Ixu's looking for the dive. Wallop's not going to land, nor is that spear as we pan back to the mid lane. KT are starting to extend this lead. Malrung.
Oh.
Can he break the face of the cat? I feel like he's psyched himself out with that ability now. He found a nice one bottom lane, but wasn't able to find that one there. Gets it onto the Rift Scuttler, the best juker in the history of League of Legends.
Very true.
So that might help him get back his mojo.
Yeah, and you guys remember the early trade in this game. It was really heavily favored to SeolHaeOne Prince, but all of a sudden, now KT are way in the lead here as they zone ult Mia. Quite literally, he has to go forward, but at least is able to trade a kill back, which aiming is going to accept the extra gold as Trigger's just left out to dry. Rumble, not a very defensive support champion.
Flawless doing a fair bit of damage here as Malrung still had the Haymaker available, but they grab the plates regardless. Smev moving on over here is Kaney. He's moving very quickly out of that grass as Flawless will just be taken down. It's a 1-for-1 trade that you'll take any day of the week. Facebreaker onto Kaney. He's now just trying to escape. Malrung getting down here, knows that he's out of vision. As now Ixu's going to get Nard. His own ability used against him, but he's going to use it now as Kaney now out of the brush. Malrung going to be executed. Oh, the Abduct is beautiful. Yucal will be able to grab the kill in the end with the Kingslayer. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, SeolHaeOne Prince utilizing the lack of presence of a jungler. Try and get something back. Oh, another cupcake going to be eaten. The headshot does so much work as aiming with his Stormrazor. Oh no, another ace in the hole, and that is a 2v2 kill on the bottom side of the map.
6-0.
Yeah.
Stop eating the cupcakes. I know they're delicious. Oh man.
I mean, Mia's really fed because he's full of cupcakes, but unfortunately, aiming's a bit more fed because he's full of kills.
Come on. Yeah, he's definitely a little bit tilted down there. I'm not really sure why you're stepping on traps in front of the fed Caitlyn, to be perfectly honest.
To be devil's advocate just for a little bit while this replay plays out of some pretty sick plays, to be honest. Certainly aggressive as Kaney does manage to navigate away from a death, but ultimately it wasn't enough in the end. But yeah, to play devil's advocate, I mean, Ashe Rumble has to win lane, right? And so you still have to be aggressive. It's just unfortunately, it all just went wrong. And so now that job cannot be done. So it's either like slowly lose or, you know, try and go for these like big plays. That's a display of talent onto Yucal. He's going to fall down. Smev trying to fight Ixu. He's got a bit of a health bar now. His aiming's just going to take down this turret by himself.
Yeah, he's all alone. I don't think anyone wants to get near the Caitlyn now. I think Mia may have officially accepted that he can't just eat the cupcakes anymore. And
he's 4-1, by the way.
yeah, he is. You know,
Not
he's
bad.
been silently, slowly but surely, scaling up a little bit himself. Not much of a scaling champion, but if you are an assassin and you get multiple kills, then you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, you sort of scale for mid-game, don't you?
Yeah. As this is the trade, you can see that they avoid the equalizer. That's how they get really low. And this is good. You're in the lead. Okay, you're coming back in the lane. Don't step on the traps. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Just don't step on the traps. Otherwise, you're going to get triple crit.
Oh, the headshots just do so much damage now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm curious to see how Kaney opens this one up, actually.
Nice arrow from Trigger.
Yeah, Trigger able to open that one up as we have more action to the surprise of nobody.
Some magical journeys. Smeb, though, is the one that took the brunt of the damage. So now, essentially, 3 versus 5. Arrow is going to land. No, aiming flashes it at the last second. Equalizer have to be walked through here by Malrong, who uses the Haymaker, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to fall. Kaney gets yet another kill. Flawless very close to dying. Okay, thankfully the blue buff resets. This Primal Surge comes out. Flawless will be able to take this one down. Kaney diving under the turret, but that ignite not going to be quite enough damage as Yukal gets a point-blank arrow onto Trigger, flashes after him. The bottom lane is just food for KT at this stage. And it's Kaney versus the world, man.
Yeah, they're feeding him cupcakes, getting him fat for the feast. And that's exactly what's going on here. 7-0 Caitlyn is going to pick up her second item on the back here, I would imagine. Let's take a look. Yep, there it is. With Fire Cannon at 17 minutes. So
7-1-0.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You know, you don't really need an Infinity Edge in this case because you already do so much damage that you might as well just take the safer route. As we're going to see this one, Smeb pretty caught out actually, not able to dodge that.
Oh, wanted to grab the kill. He's unable to. Good block by Ixu. So that's what started it all off.
And they just chase him down here. It was actually a nice chase. They get the flash out of aiming, and the equalizer is a great zone ability to get Malrong in there. And it almost feels like, especially with the follow-up damage with the Shock Blast, that they could have just stayed in and aiming could have aced them. But either way, they wanted to play it safe here as caught on a ward. The two of them go down as Yukal engages, and aiming laps it up.
Yep, speaking of Yukal, he's coming around for a bit of a flank here as Malrong's also coming in. There's the showstopper. Flash forward Trigger is really dead. They're now just abusing him.
Yeah.
As Yukal gets a Super Soaker onto Mia, but I think they're more concerned about killing a minion wave. Might be worth a bit more gold. Stage of the game, unfortunately, the 1-6-4 sad rumble. Not doing too much here. The bottom lane is 100% being abused. We've got a legendary Caitlyn coming out from aiming, and Shirley is going to plant herself into the inner turret. Ixu with the Mega Gnar. Tusin's against a wall, but he's got a magical journey for that, so he'll be absolutely fine. Ocean Drake going to be our soul of the day. SeolHaeOne Prince took away the Cloud Drake. KT probably okay with that, as they want a triple stack with this Ocean Drake. Will allow them to stand in the equalizer for a bit longer, I guess.
See Bard's UFO just
Yeah,
in the corner.
Obnoxious Bard.
It's such an... That skin is insane. Well, we'll take a look here. They're just bullying Trigger at this point. I mean, throwing everything they have at this guy. The flash ultimate, probably not even necessary. But they just wanted to make 100% sure that they could get the bully down.
Oop, Yukal. Absconding his way out of that one. Flawless, still lying in wait. 10 seconds until this Ocean Drake. And SeolHaeOne Prince do have a bit of vision in the area. Whether they have any chance in a team fight is going to be all about whether they can layer these ultimates perfectly. Thankfully, they still do have this comp with like crazy wombo if they can make it work. It's just that if it doesn't work, KT has just way more gold and way more of an ability to actually do damage afterwards. I mean, miracles can happen.
It's true.
I saw that one, the Miracle on 34th Street.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Miracle on Ice.
Oh, no. Haven't seen that?
Yeah, the 1980 Ice Hockey Olympic Championship. It's a nice movie. It's a feel-good movie.
We're going to take the first Ocean Drake here. Magical Journey is going to escort KT out. I think they possibly could have taken a fight, but they're respecting all of these R buttons that SeolHaeOne Prince do have. Malrung's going to face check, though. Double face breaker, and the Nidalee dies before she even enters the sky. There's the ace in the hole. Ixu going to go golden. That's not what they want. No trap to be lined up, but that's a really nice cosmic binding. Smeb off to the side. Kaney wants to do damage, but just no way that he can. And the legendary Caitlyn's getting even more kills. Good double shock blast from Smeb, who dives on forward, looking to try and close distance, but he's going to be eradicated. The Ashe picks up the kill, but it's mostly the Qiyana damage. Aiming's angry, wanting to avenge his top laner. He's not going to be able to. Kaney spotted. Going to continue moving on away. Malrung very low. I mean, he's one-shottable, but Aiming's not. He's really, really strong. 4,000 damage in the team fight, if you don't mind.
I was about to say get this man in Shirelia's, but Bard's already got it, doing the job.
Yep,
Ooh, nice
he's dead though.
Play.
Kaney? It's Kaney versus Aiming. That's what we're watching.
Yeah, I mean, if he can do that to Aiming later on in the game.
I mean, that's what he's designed to do, right?
Still a chance, right?
Yeah.
They are behind, don't get us wrong, but, you know, we've seen crazier things happen as Nidalee doesn't exist. And finally, we had Temper Fate land onto something. Nice follow-up stun. As they were kind of in an awkward spot, which is why they didn't just run straight at them. And Ixu was like, well, I guess I have to go forward, but he got killed mid-flash, so...
Not sure what he was flashing for. He didn't have his ultimate available, I don't think. Yeah.
Let's hope that's a visual bug then. As, yeah,
Get
there you go.
electrocuted to death. That was some good calculations coming through from Kaney. Saw the numbers. He's got his third serrated Dirk as well, worth of lethality. But there's an infinity edge on the Caitlyn. I mean, Amy's like a raid boss.
Yeah.
Oh god, he's so scary.
He's hitting that. He's already hit that spike where we talked about this yesterday, even where Caitlyn just immediately gets so much power once you build up the infinity edge. It's pretty insane. He's just running at them. He's like, no, you can't do anything to me. I can two-shot you.
Yeah. He's very, very strong. 3.5k ahead. Kaney looks like he's extremely ahead, but he's only ahead by about 600 gold. As Malrung looking for it once again. Arrow is going to connect onto the set. There's the layering of the ultimates, but Malrung has that haymaker. Can he actually grab anything here? Stopwatch comes through. What was that crit? That was his whole health bar. Double kill already now as Kaney boops the Bard into the wall, but it doesn't seem to matter. A triple kill now as Trigger going to be taken down for the Quadra. Can it be the pentakill is flawless? He's desperately trying to pounce his way away to deny this one, but Aiming still looking for him. Yukal over to the side. He's going to deny it.
Really?
Fun police right here.
Yeah. Can we get a 9x report? Look at him trying to bait Flawless into this one.
Yep, there's the ace of the whole pentakill for Aiming. Good guy, Flawless. I take back everything that I said. As Smeb's going to come through, they're going to grab this inhibitor turret. And Aiming 14-0-2 on the Caitlyn. The most feddest of people I've seen for quite some time.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've gotten this to happen. The solo queue carry, the guy who comes in and gets unbelievably fed, like it's not even supposed to happen. As they tried a wombo combo, they tried their best, but Stopwatch is the best item in the game. Two-shot the Rumble, and immediately from there on, he was off to the races. Kaney desperately trying to get that assassination, but good response out of Aiming.
Last hit, love it.
He's trying to get in there faster. He's like, please give me the penta. And then, good guy Flawless. He could have just backed. He could have sat in the fountain.
Let's listen to what they're talking about. It's all about the penta.
제발.
됐다 이거.
It's Yukal that's yelling. He's not even aiming.
여기까지.
한 대만 한 대만.
여기까지.
아 플래시로 안 넘어가네. 와 경우 왜 안 넘어가?
아 미안.
나 궁대거든? 누가라? 내가 한
He was yelling at his teammate for not flashing the wall. He's yelling at Smeb.
내려,
Smeb
누가,
didn't
누가.
flash.
나이스. 누가라 고맙다.
Alright, Zeus is dead again. Flawless also taking a lot of damage here is Aiming. Ace in the hole. Mia takes half of his health bar from it. It is at least able to survive for the moment. Shock Blast comes through and the Rumble needs to go home.
Ooh, Kaney.
Okay, Ixu's ultimate has been stolen. Means that no supreme displays of talent available for the Silas. Is now going to turn off the vision to keep up the suspense. Aiming's got a GA now on top of everything. 4 items for the Caitlyn in comparison to the 2 that Trigger has. No components either. Double the items. Insanity. Kaney jumping on over as Smeb's found him. He's trying to be sneaky, but he gets popped for half of his health bar. Ixu, he's going to go down. No double pentas.
No double penta. What the hell?
I wanted it so bad.
What is this nonsense?
Well,
You should have given it to him.
He might have been trying to. I was half expecting Aiming to get it anyway. The Ocean Drake goes down in the blink of an eye. 15-0-3. For the Caitlyn, who now has a GA as well, so just it's going to be even harder. It's like the hard counter to Kiana, who wants to kill you in 1 round of spells. Getting out a little bit more difficult, although you can go stealth if there is some terraformable, terra-shapeable, sorry, grass in the area.
Terra-shapeable?
I mean, that's the double.
Wow.
As Mia's dead. Real dead, but does get an equalizer from the grave. Arrow comes down from Yukal. Trigger's dead also. As Ixu's going to get Haymade. Aiming's tanking up the Baron. In the meantime, I mean, there's 2 people doing Baron while it's a 3 versus 5 theoretically elsewhere. Tempered Fate not going to actually be hopped out of by Kaney. And now they're going to try and line him up. Supreme Display of Talent is beautiful. A massive damage as the Baron's still in there. They steal it. Kaney just going God mode as the Caitlyn looking to try and take down Flawless. It's a triple kill, but Aiming is still alive in the end. But they steal the Baron. Could this be the comeback?
Max, you needed your saxophone today. I said it before.
I mean, I asked my parents to send it over, but they can't go more than 5Ks outside their place. And my saxophone isn't actually at my home in Australia. It's unfortunate.
Well, yeah, this is just, I mean, this is like the definition of Fiesta. KT are like, yeah, we could just kill the Baron, or we could get a really great chance for the most amazing Supreme Display of Talent we've seen in a while. As Aiming doesn't die, I mean, that's kind of par for the course at this point, but at the same time, this did not have to happen.
Have a listen.
나이스.
바로
야, 바로 잡아. 나이스. 큐트를 진짜. 야, 얘들아 살아야 돼.
나이스. 야, 이기만 해.
큐트를 가인을 못 보였다.
괜찮아.
Kaney's like, he is super hyped up.
Yeah, he's like, come on, we can do this, take it slow, we can win.
Yukal still did the most damage in the team fight somehow.
Oh no!
Gonna get caught out. Peacemaker does a lot of damage. As Mia thankfully had a bit of a scrap shield there, so not gonna take too much. As QSS is now being completed by Aiming. 17-0-3, but 10-3-2 for Kaney's Kiana. And we can see exactly why it was banned in the first game. This game is absurd, but it's definitely very entertaining as Aiming's going to get healed back up, so not too worried about being speared. So let's see what KT can do to try and get a little bit of those sillies out. Okay, they're not going to. They're just going to kill Ixu as Yukal steals away his ultimate, uses it against him. That's a dead nah.
Again.
Yeah. Well, 40 seconds on the nah. 4 versus 5 equalizer to try and clear out the wave, and they do so. The turret was tempered fated also.
Nice.
Susan, yeah, the sexiest. Oh dear. Aiming. QSS to try and get himself forward as the Peacemaker's not going to land. Spear avoided. And yeah, Aiming is still an absolute beast. Still. There is Kaney. He exists. He's got an Edge of Night, so can avoid some of the CC. This inhibitor turret's going to fall down. Inhibitor in the bottom lane, not going to die just yet. As Ocean Drake's up in a minute and a half, and that is going to be Ocean Soul for KT on the line. We're at 29 minutes into the game. This game has been really fun.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, they are... It's over a kill and a half per minute. I mean, this doesn't happen really over here. Generally, we see a lot of safe play, but these guys today are really entertaining us, it seems, in this one. Aiming's got to be careful.
He's flanking, I think, as he finds the net onto Mia. Flawless looking for him. Flash forward! Mia really wants to execute it, but he's still got a GA. That was never going to happen. Ixu over to the side. He wants to get a big Gnar. He's not going to use it just yet. Instead, he uses it on the air afterwards. Trigger's going to get Haymade as well. Smashed into a billion pieces. That's a huge ult against the wall as Kaney also evaporates. And Aiming's now fighting. Flawless net doesn't connect. As the Cat still trying to find some aggression here in this game. As the back comes through, and Smeb is going to cancel it. As Flawless wants to hold on to a minion wave, but it doesn't seem to matter. Aiming is going to find the vision, and despite the Primal Surge, that is still a dead Nidalee. And I have a feeling this is going to be the end of the game. 31-17, maybe even 32-17 as Ixu. Back on the fountain now, Tucson. He's gonna die, 100%. So that's 18. Another kill comes through as Ixu puts them onto the fountain. Even more kills. Now Aiming's going to say, well, I guess I won't kill the Nexus. I'm going to shoot this Gnar for as long as I can.
Smeb's trying to kill the Nexus.
Yeah, he's like,
no.
Please get me out of this. This crazy cacophony of insanity. As Yukal's going to sacrifice himself for a kill onto the Ashe. And finally, the Nexus does fall down. It was a fun series, but in the end, it's a KT 2-0, so we have to say goodbye to any hopes for Sandbox. As KT Rolster still definitely in it with a shot for playoffs. But I don't know how much we learn from this match because it was, definitely an eclectic one. Let's just say.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it. I think the amount of times that we get to see someone that fed in a professional match is just so low. Like, to have a Caitlyn be almost 20 kills in one game, that just really never happens.
Yeah.
It's cool to see it happen here. Aiming, obviously one of the big 80 carries here in the LCK, putting on a show for us tonight. As Balrog's getting some attention too.
He's going to win his second series.
Yeah, that he will. And he had that little bit of a whoopsie down on the bottom side, but after that, he really cleaned up his play and had a good game. So
yeah,
good to see.
It's hard to sub in as well and like play like you've got all of that momentum after a win. It's very weird that Bono got subbed out at all, but still looked absolutely fine. It might have been that they wanted to have some fun with some Lilia, which SeolHaeOne Prince decided that they would nip in the bud. As Yukal also had a really good day. Back-to-back Silas games. He had so many phenomenal ults. I think the drafting out of KT was pretty stable, but definitely good. A little bit more fun on SeolHaeOne Prince's side. Was good to see Kaney's Kiana as aiming down the sights. There is aiming.
Yeah, it was like a mini Pioshik celebration, right? Wasn't much, but he gave us a little something.
It's even better that his name's aiming though, so that could be like what he does, no matter who he's playing, right? It's pretty cool.
Caitlyn Ezreal.
Yeah,
you're aiming a lot with both of those champions. As we get the huddle here once again.
Yep, Harai trying to boost up his team that still has a chance. The match against Afrika is a gigantic one. For this team and for Afrika as well to make sure that they can solidify their spot. If Afrika wins there, it's all done and dusted as far as our 5 teams in playoffs. It's not going to be all over for KT. They still have the World's Gauntlet that they could ride the entire way towards the World Championship. The KT roller coaster will continue even after playoffs.
That is true. It's really interesting to see how it's all shaping up, of course, going into summer playoffs.
Yeah.
Which teams are in the running and who's really got a shot. It does seem pretty obvious this year, though, like who is going to make it into at least the regional qualifier over here.
Yep.
We're still not sure who's going to get the direct seed just yet. T1's still looking very likely because of their spring win and the fact that they're in playoffs once again. But who's going to win summer? Will it just be the Dom one that we're expecting? Will it be someone else to come up with an upset? Definitely cool stuff to think about as this is coming along.
This looked really silly from Marong, but Trigger did have Flash. So I guess he was just assuming a Flash would come through. He was trying to, go for the Mad Life, I guess. Maybe gameplayed himself just a little bit. As you can see, this was messy, to say the least. It was such a fun game. Just so many kills. I feel like whoever was making this highlight reel is like, well, I have to cut out 17 of the highlights.
Pretty much. I mean, there are a lot of moments where aiming just kind of ran at you and got a bunch of kills. And this was one such moment. The pentakill that does come in here. As you can see, Katie, he knows his job. This is before GA is completed. And not much he can do at the end of the day, as eventually...
It's the 4th pentakill of the LCK for Summer 2020. I think, have we had more than 4 in a season? Not in a really long time.
I don't know. That's an interesting stat.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone actually has that stat offhand. If you do, make sure to reach out to us on Twitter or wherever you would like to.
It's interesting as well. I mean, we had our first pentakill, which was Mystic on the Aphelios, and then we had a Kassadin pentakill and a Nidalee pentakill from Showmaker and Canyon, and now we've got a Caitlyn pentakill, which is, I guess, a more understandable one, especially when the Caitlyn had like 15 kills at the time.
Just lining him up. He doesn't even die once he gets his GA. He stays alive the entire time.
He doesn't get his GA pop.
Exactly. He doesn't even get like the fake life.
Yeah, right.
Stays alive for the whole game.
봐줄래 여기?
싸워도 될 듯 이거?
나 봐줄게 그쪽. 애쉬.
Ash.
메시 잡았고.
갈게
애쉬
이거.
노플.
피 하나 봐줄 수 있어.
야 노플이야 노플. 끝났다.
Go on
미드
this.
가자.
No flash. It's over.
It was actually really clean from Elrond, actually. He had a
어,
few different
Oh, no,
ideas that he was
nice.
thinking about. He
Nice.
wanted to throw Flawless
네,
in and
어떻게
then
18킬이
decided
나오냐?
that he was going to
그러게.
instead just grab the Ashe.
아, 20킬
Communicated
들고
that to his
있는데?
team.
펜타?
아 펜타도 있구나. 아 돈이 있다.
Yuka.
오.
와우. 야 1킬만 더 하자.
경험 미드 텔.
예 노플. 1킬만 더
타워
하게
깨고
해줘.
1킬 더하게 해주던지.
아 1킬 더 하게 해줘.
It's definitely the
잡지마,
first time
잡지마.
the winning team has had more
타워.
kills than
잠깐만.
there is minutes on the clock.
Yuka's
안 될 것 같은데 킬?
애쉬 4초, 애쉬 4초.
애쉬 노플이긴 해 애쉬 노플.
애쉬 4초, 애쉬 4초. 타워 때려, 제발. 타워 때려,
Smith's
타워
like,
때려.
hit the damn turret.
애쉬
야
노플인데.
들어와.
킬 1킬. 아이고.
아.
2층 타워맨 있다, 우리. 난 타워만게. 나이스!
나이스.
The war cry there at the end.
Yep.
40,000 damage
God,
in
man.
31 minutes.
And somehow
Wow.
the Rumbles still did a lot of damage.
Yeah, he was, you know. If you're dying a lot, but you're there and you're
He was
trading
only
back every
alive for
time.
50% of the game.
Yeah. But you know,
man.
every time he went out in a blaze of glory, except that one time where he just stepped on the companies. But other than that, looks great, and maybe he was having fun.
It was definitely a lot of fun. I don't think anyone could take that away from him. SeolHaeOne Prince, if they do anything, they have fun, as aiming will pick up player of the game. 19-0-4 with, close to 1,300 damage per minute. 40% of his team.
Okay.
Damage was ahead by, 6.3 thousand gold. Sometimes people get upset with, oh, he got a pentakill, and then he got the player of the game, but aiming was 100%.
Look at how he dodges the cupcake.
Prince of Persia!
Unbelievable.
Oh, amazing.
What a play. And there's
So sad.
dodge it. Oh no. Why'd he step forward?
He needed to land the other harpoon. That was why.
나도 또 붙나 보다.
Back in now.
미드 걸었다, 얘네.
나 토시에 있어 안 죽어.
나 테리 있어.
We were part of the player of the game.
해면서
Yeah, I had a feeling we were going
일단
to go back
뚫렸고.
to it.
나르 노플 나르 노플.
나르 노플, 나르
There's the
노플.
pentakill
아이고.
clutch.
여기 키아나,
뒤에
키아나,
뒤에
키아나.
키아나.
키아나 높을, 키아나
10
높을.
out of 12.
잡았다.
Two votes
펜타
for mid
펜타.
lane.
봐줄게,
아
봐줄게.
펜타.
It's interesting
펜타.
because,
야 펜타.
well, we're
제발.
instant
It was
Penta
you,
이거.
Cal, that
Penta,
confirmed the
잡아.
penta. So technically, it's
Okay.
아이고.
여기까지,
Deserved.
여기까지.
Very
여기까지,
deserved.
여기까지.
플래시로 안 넘어가네.
And it's interesting because
경을
you
왜안
know,
넘어가?
I
미안.
definitely am not a
그거랑?
person
내가 한번
who
봤지.
enjoys
야,
voting
나를
for the,
팬
you know,
야,
highest
진짜 없어.
damage, highest
때려
KDA
때려
wall
죽어.
Yeah,
kind of player, but in this case
Probably
I was like,
right
well, I mean,
나이스!
Yeah, 100%.
pentakill, 19 and 0, the guy like literally just put the team on his back after getting fed. Like,
Yeah. Definitely 100% deserved. I also thought that he played like very well position-wise.
Yeah.
When there's a Kiana on the team, the Caitlyn should be dead all the time. And the Kiana was fed as well. And yet, aiming just a little bit too strong.
Guardian
So-
Angel, very, pretty much the perfect item against Kiana.
And also, it's an aiming item. He loves building it. He's
Great item, especially from ahead.
Yeah, he's a GA builder. As I will be able to have a chat with him about how this one went. I believe it's going to be Smeb and aiming for the interview. It's going to be coming up very shortly. Once again, want to say our condolences to Sandbox. We also had LoL Esports Stats send through exactly what needed to happen, but unfortunately it hasn't happened. And here's Ji-sun for the interview translation.
Translation, and let's have this POD interview with Smap Amy on the side of KT Rolster, picking up 2-0 victory up against SeolHaeOne Prince. Smap, how do you feel? Recently, we were having a improving performance, so we had some confidence for this series, and I'm happy that we were able to get a 2-0 win. Especially Smap, you are back in your form. And aiming, this is your second pentakill. How do you feel? I'm happy that I was able to get so many kills and also the pentakill. That game was more like a solo queue game, actually. Going back to game number 1, SeolHaeOne Prince had a very unorthodox comp. So jungle Echo and Set mid. The mid laner on the side of SeolHaeOne Prince, he kind of prefers a lot of AD champions like Set and Kiana, so we had this information. So we thought that there are high possibility of having a mid-set game and an AP jungler coming in. So with the Kenny on this starting lineup, did you guys kind of predict it? I mean, recently they were having a lot of roster swaps, so we did not exactly know who's gonna play for today's series. So we were having all the possible cases in mind. So in game number 1, you are 9-0-8. Especially you are participating in every skirmish in the early game. So let's take a look at the highlights first. So after you got 3 kills on the top side of the map, instead of going for the top lane wave, you TP'd for the bottom lane and let Yukal take the big wave. Was that your intention or was that team's call? In the recent series, we had some games that we had a huge losing traits, so our bottom duos were super vocal about this TP support. So I was like, yeah, this is time that I should take this TP. Then aiming. What was going on exactly? Well, the opponents were overextended, so I asked Smap to take the TP. What did Yukal say about farming that wave on the top lane? That was a super big wave, so I was telling him to go get it fast. You guys were able to get all the leads in that early game. And you actually got 4-0-0 after that fight, so did you kind of say you're gonna carry that game? I mean, we already had a really nice comp, and with those kills, Wukong was able to accelerate the lead and was able to reach the power spike really fast. So game number 1, well, Gnar took the grasp of Undying, but he changed the Hail of Blades in game number 2 on Gnar. Well, regardless of the rune choice, I think Gnar is a really decent champion in the current meta, so I think any rune is actually viable. Aiming. KT Rolster is trying to sub in both junglers in the recent series, so what's your thought on that strategy? They have different champion pool and playstyle, and both of them have a lot of strengths. So depending on the given situation, our coaching staff decides the roster. Caitlyn and Ashe are definitely on top of the tier list. And which one do you prefer? Well, when those two are banned out, we can play Jhin, and also Aphelios is still viable. Speaking of Caitlyn, you had 19-0-4 on Caitlyn in game 2. Caitlyn is definitely climbing up the tier list, but here in the LCK, her win rate is not that high. So how do you rate this champion in this meta? Caitlyn is a very decent champion, but so you have to be geared up with comp and strategy around Caitlyn. For the sustainability, a lot of players go with footwork, but you are looking for some more damage with the different rune choice. Fleet footwork has a lot of sustainability during the laning phase, also really good at kiting. But I was trying to avoid and dodge the opponent's skill, and I was looking for more damage in the late game with the lethality, with the attack speed. The second pentakill of your career, so let's take a look at the highlights. So your teammates were also trying their best to give you this penta. So what was actually going on here? At first, I didn't know I got this much of a kill, but my teammates were telling me that this is a pentakill opportunity, so I was like, yeah, give me the penta, give me the penta, and then I found out that I almost missed it because Jason did not flash over the wall, but he did not. So Yuka kind of sacrificed for me. Any message for Yuka? It's been 2 years since I played together with Yuka. I'm happy that we were able to have such a great time together. Smack, what was your plan in that pentakill moment? I mean, I've been playing as a pro for such a long time, and I don't care about the super plays or outplays, you know? We have to end game as fast as possible. However, Korean Prince picked up triple kill and a Baron. They were so close to turning the game around. Weren't you guys worried about that? We were in a huge lead, so we were letting our guards down a little bit. So after they took the Baron, we focused up again, and we were able to close out the game. Smap, your performance is stepping up every day. It's really hard to, get back to form after having a really long off-season. During the off-season, and also I also performed really bad during 2019, so I lost so many of my confidence. So I had this mindset that I can come back, I can get back to my form. And that was the biggest motivation for me to get back this form. Smap. After that rest, Smap is now back at form, so Lyra is also thinking of maybe becoming a pro player again. But your next opponent will be Africa Freaks, and that's going to be the decider game for playoffs, possibly. I mean, we took down Africa Freaks a lot during the spring split, but coming in the summer split, we lost them. We were a little bit surprised, so we're going to prepare really hard and get the win. And Smap? Currently, me and our team, we are doing a great job. So we will prepare really hard in order to show a good performance. Thank you. So this will be the end of the interview with Smap aiming from KT Rolster. And once again, congratulations on the win. So KT Rolster picked up 2-0 win up against Korean Prince, and they are still having the hopes for the playoffs, so let's check out the standings.
Thank you so much, Jason, for the interview translation as per usual. And as you can see, the race for playoffs is definitely getting interesting. As KT, I believe, still require Sandbox to get a victory over Africa, but if they win, they at least even out the match score, and their life theoretically is in their hands, because they can then take down Damwon, who I believe they are taking on. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So if KT beats Damwon, then
and they need Africa to lose on top of that.
Africa needs to lose to Gen G though, which is still, something that they could theoretically hang their hat on.
Yes. It's still possible.
It's definitely
not very likely, but we'll see what happens. As next up is going to be DRX versus Hama Life for our second match of the night.
Yeah, and we'll see how that one goes. Yet another sort of top of the table versus the bottom type scenario. But DRX, I mean, they're a team that flips coins. It's been a while since we've seen them, and I'm looking forward to seeing whether they've shored up some of those inconsistencies up against a Hanwha Life, who might be on a bit of a rise, looking to make a bit of a statement in the last couple of weeks of the LCK. But we'll see you after a very long break for our second match of the night.